This is one of many synagogues in France. Jews have been in this country for centuries, numbering 500,000 today. France has the largest Jewish population in Europe. But for the first time in their living memory, the Jews of this synagogue in central Paris are talking about leaving France, fearing what they call a new anti-Semitism. Lohan Layani says he is afraid that anti-Israeli sentiment has morphed into a wider, more dangerous anti-Semitism.
If you have a stars or here, like you can have problems, or if you are a keeper, like some people come to you and say, that Jews will not kill you or put you on the sea, and it's quite big.
In July, during Israel's war with Hamas, the synagogue was targeted by demonstrators who reportedly chanted "Death to Jews" as they attacked. These are images from inside the synagogue. The show of force from police ended the protest.
But this is the result of constant police protection. Jews have been coming to worship here at this synagogue for 50 years, but now they say they won't come unless the police are outside.
And it's not just in Paris. In Sarcelles, a small community with a large Jewish population north of Paris, a peaceful pro-Palestinian march degenerated into violence against anything Jewish. Attacks like these have had a profound impact on the Jewish community. At the Jewish Agency in Paris, there has been a surge in applications for assistance to emigrate to Israel. The agency estimates 5,000 will leave this year, the highest ever. Malul family of Paris is just days away from moving to Israel. Gabrielle Malul is a dermatologist and is giving up a successful practice.
You think it's going to get worse, not better?
Yes. I've grown up with people from all different backgrounds, says Joel. It's always been all right, but I feel it's changing. 16-year-old Judith is leaving many friends behind, but she says it's time. The situation has been deteriorating over the past few years. In 2012, 3 children and an adult were shot and killed at the Jewish school in Toulouse. And in May, killings at the Jewish Museum in Brussels by a shooter later identified as French raised the anxiety level higher.
Unfortunately, anti-Semitism did not end with the Holocaust, and it is still a relevant issue today. On February 7th, student leaders Amanda Israelian and Natan Sagedi joined with Rabbi Brander, Vice President of University and Community Life at Yeshiva University, on a solidarity mission to France, organized through the Jewish Federation of North America. It was the individuals of the Holocaust that showed others the virtue of standing up for what they believed to be right. A primary example of this kind of behavior is Torah Activities Council President Amanda Israelian, who took her YU experiences to enable her to go out into the world and help. And perhaps this is the most meaningful way to commemorate the Shoah, today and every day. It is my honor to introduce fellow student Amanda Israelian. Tonight, we've repeatedly mentioned the idea of I am never again, and its relevance to current anti-Semitism. To be honest, before this past summer, I don't think I even understood what the Holocaust actually embodies and how deeply rooted the tragedy is. My family was not directly affected by the Holocaust, and I was simply disconnected. But going to Poland in July, seeing underscores how seriously French Jews are taking the violence. With each site that we visited and with each person that we met, I gained a broader and better understanding of the issues that the Jewish community in France faces daily. The first thing I noticed was how recent violence has left an incredible mark on the Jewish community. It is clear that it is on alert. At our very first stop, the Grand Synagogue of Paris, we were greeted by 3 French soldiers guarding the entrance. My mind flashed to my own shul in Boston, New York, and I was struck by the stark contrast. Never in my life had I imagined what it would be like to feel so unsafe in my own shul. I simply couldn't picture 3 soldiers standing outside of my shul. At our next stop, the Aliyah Fair, thousands of French teens explored opportunities in Israel where they would not be Israelis. The statistics that I heard are staggering. In 2014, 7,000 French Jews made Aliyah. 15,000 are anticipated to make Aliyah in 2015. These figures reflect the tense atmosphere that pervades the French community. With each year and with each act of violence, more and more Jews are deciding to abandon their homes because they do not feel safe. Of course, the feelings of insecurity reached a peak when I visited the HaShoah supermarket, where a terrorist attacked and murdered Jews who were doing nothing more than shopping for groceries. I felt the mood of the group completely transformed. I identified the flowers, the memorial candles that burned for the 4 murdered Jews. As a group, we recited Yizkor and Kaddish and took a moment to pay our individual respects. The day-to-day life of this community has been shaken, and this raises serious questions. After meeting with Mr. the interministerial delegate for the fight against racism and anti-Semitism, I felt incredibly conflicted over the quandary he explained to us. French Jewry is faced with a heart-wrenching decision. They must decide, should they remain in their homes, the homes of their parents, and overcome the current instability? Or should they leave, abandon France, leave their homes, never to return? How torn each and every Jew must feel to discover that their own homes are no longer safe. Of all the places I visited, I must say that I was most impacted upon visiting the Jewish school. I had the opportunity to interact with elementary school students on the playground during their recess. Later, 4 older students, 2 girls and 2 boys, told us how anti-Semitism had impacted them personally. I spoke with a sophomore boy privately. He told me and empowered. I was inspired to persevere when our community is challenged. Enlightened by all I had seen, concerned for the fate of European and worldwide Jewry, and empowered by learning that my voice can make a difference in the Jewish community's survival. As I reflect on my experience and the meaning of never again, I realize that the struggle with anti-Semitism is in our hands. We are all shapers of a Jewish future. We can exercise our power to change the world, to make it significantly better than it was before we arrived. As we heard from Mrs. Fishburne, the least likely of men, a poor, ordinary Polish farmer, saved an entire family. By dedicating ourselves to our people and our values, we too can attain greatness and improve the world. Every Pesach, we read about a cycle as old as the Jewish people. A cycle of persecution and salvation. The Nazis alone did not stand against us. In every generation, they stand against us. And God saves us from their hands. This cycle is equally our history and our faith. Nations have and will continue to stand against us. God has and will continue to protect us. The means of persecution and salvation may vary with time and place, but they are both guaranteed. No Jewish action, no defense or activism is mentioned in the text of HaShoah. Are we to go as sheep to slaughter? Are we just victims in this historical cycle? No. God's hand works in mysterious ways, and we may not know why this is our fate. No matter the answer, tonight, we refuse to be helpless victims in this process. We cannot say that tragedy will never strike the Jewish people, but we will not take threats lightly, and we can be active players in our own survival. Never again is a resolution to be alert, honest, and active. To not be taken by surprise, and to never again be passive before those who wish to destroy us. With tonight's commemoration, we stand and say, I am not tempered or bent before hatred. I stand strong for my parents, for my siblings, for my children, and for our future. I am never again. We would like to thank all those who made this event possible. Our speakers, Rabbi Jacob J. Schachter, Mrs. Sally Frischberg, and Amanda Israeli. Additionally, we would like to thank the Shem Board, Shem President Hadassah Holtefeld, Shem Ambassadors, the Office of Student Life, all the student governments, as well as the deans and faculty members who have joined us this evening. We would like to thank all of you for coming out tonight to commemorate the 6 million Kedoshim who perished during the Holocaust. Please join us as we sing Ani Mani.
Amen.
he